Good morning and welcome back to Act Locally Live. It is Tuesday, September 2nd, 7:30 in the morning, which means today Act Locally Waco and myself are bringing you Title Tuesday. That means I'm bringing you all of the biggest book drops, album releases, and movie premieres that you may have missed, that you've been wanting to talk about, or that you're just interested in general. So, before we get into all of this, we have some beautiful, fantastic art behind us. Oh my goodness. Shout out Debbie Miller of Corsicana at Debbie Rose Miller on Instagram or DebbieMillerStudio.com online. These pieces are absolutely stunning, gorgeous. And then behind my other shoulder, we have pieces from Russell Campbell of Waco. You can find him on Instagram at rustone.art. And all of these pieces behind me are available for sale. So if you see one that's catching your eye and you're interested, you can either send me a message or either of these artists a message. So again, today is Title Tuesday. The last few weeks, we've gone over long versus short form content, the effects that it has on our attention spans, the effects it has on our perceptions of art, and just the overall satisfaction that we are getting from the content that we are consuming. So today, I'm bringing more books, more albums, and more movies that have recently dropped that you should be hearing about. And I know a lot of the biggest complaint today is time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, guess what? Our time is fixed anyways. Make some. So, I have been recently struggling with a really big reading slump. I've been trying to finish Catching Fire for like a month now, and I'm whittling my way through it, but I just can't get into the book like I normally do. So, how do I set up a space to actually entertain myself while I'm trying to read? Because people might not find reading fun. I do. Here we go. Here's how to do it. Set up the atmosphere. The environment is absolutely everything. I'm talking light your candles, all of the fall scents, put on your comfiest PJs, get your blankets piled high, full cocoon of pillows around you, cup of tea on the table, ambiance on the TV, like look up different like fictional places. This is one of my favorite things ever. Go onto YouTube, look up whatever fandom ambiance, and then it'll pull up just hour-long videos of a soothing like a bar from the Lord of the Rings, like a little, I don't know. Anyways, I love it. I love it. And it makes reading just a big old experience because now you're surrounded in the atmosphere that the characters are. And anyways, you can also look up fire crackling or classical music or jazz music, whatever it may be. Set up the ambiance and the atmosphere and the environment with which you are reading in. If that isn't your speed, though, there's an alternative to that. If you aren't one of the whimsy readers, have a physical copy of your book in hand, obviously. The physical experience of a novel is second to none. It is crafted. Like there are people who sit there and design the feel of the books, from the cover, the feel of the cover, to the weight of the paper, to the design of the page, how big the print is, to where the art is on the page, because that's where your eye is going to be drawn. Everything is designed, everything is crafted. It is supposed to be an experience every time you are flipping the page. So a physical book just makes for the physical experience with the reading and the whole atmosphere vibe. Okay. I also love being able to annotate, highlight, and underline different parts because I'm all about bringing up books in conversation. And if I can remember where that line is on that one page, I can immediately go pull it off of my shelf, like somewhere, feel for the chapter, just, you know, and then I can find it and share that with people. But I also love the physical experience of having a huge emotional reaction to reading, and I can slam the book closed and like throw it across the room if somebody's pissed me off or made me so mad, or if I'm just so giddy about something happening and I am so happy, I need to, you know, close it and take a lap. Okay. But yeah, there's something about the whole physicality of the book, being able to smell the pages and just, run your finger over the print. Sometimes you can feel the indents. But alongside the atmosphere, the physical book, I have another tip for you all getting out of this reading slump. Listen along with an audiobook. Why are we still just reading alone in our heads in this day and age? Okay, YouTube, Audible, Apple Bookstore. They have everything, absolutely everything. You can either speed up or slow down the audio to a digestible pace. If I'm reading a super dense book, I will slow down the audio with which I'm reading at so that I'm able to fully understand the importance and craft of each and every sentence. But if I'm reading a super lighthearted, like Anne of Green Gables, something that I can quickly understand and it's a fast pace, I can speed up the sound to match my natural pace of reading, which is always really nice because nobody's holding you back. It's your experience. So the combination of the audible and visual stimulation keeps my attention in the storyline. That is how I stay focused, especially when I'm reading something like Shakespeare's plays. Like those are things that are meant to be performed and you miss just so much inflection and intonation with just the words on the page. So while books and novels are made to be just read, listening along to some sort of ambiance atmosphere video or even alongside the audio of the book just makes the experience much more immersive and interactive. And don't get me wrong, Audible can be expensive, okay? And audio books available for purchase through Apple's bookstore, just as expensive. But YouTube has so many free postings of automated and real readings. Okay, I understand the whole, I can't listen to this fake voice talk to me anymore. Let me find something real. But most of those YouTube videos are free. Okay, also, most of the videos published on YouTube are from LibriVox, which is a free public domain for literature and audiobooks. And you can go to their website, LibriVox.org, and find the entire catalog of domain-free audiobooks. What do you mean? Hey, if you don't know, domain is only covered for 100 years in literature or something like that. So after that 100-year time slot is up, you can read. You can use all of that content for whatever you may want to for totally free. It is yours to use and absorb. So while my favorite form of content from Title Tuesday is reading literature, right? There are many, many ways to acquire said literature, right? Not just the local bookstores, Headed to Fabled or Barnes & Noble, there are tons of PDFs available online if you know where to find them, wink, wink. So, obviously pay the authors you're reading, but I don't blame you for needing to pirate in Trump's America. So we're going backwards this week with albums first on our list because that's where I got my pirating start. Not only have we lost physical media, the art of physical media, but we have lost the art of burning CDs and downloading MP3 files from sketchy online platforms to our iPods. Let's bring that back, okay? That's internet safety. Luckily, most people this day and age have a streaming service of some sort where you can find all of these titles and more. So we'll get back to it after this break.
Oh.
Everyone is born with different gifts and skills. Everyone is unique and has something that only they can offer this world. And everyone has different needs that help them accomplish their day-to-day goals and challenges. But there's one thing that everyone needs, no matter who they are. Breathe cleaner. Puro Air.
Every dog deserves a second chance in a loving home. And you brew Grounds and Hounds, you're helping to fund that second chance for a rescue pup in need. They'll brew a second cup, and let's change the world for every pup. One cup at a time. Visit us at groundsandhoundscoffee.com.
With over 50 years in the industry, Arriva Hospitality Group has been delighting guests with unforgettable experiences across Mexico. Our investors enjoy trust and impressive returns, while our guests, whether on vacation or business, keep coming back for more fun and memories. At Arriva Hospitality Group, we are looking for investors who share our dream of making people happy while our investments grow. Take a closer look at arrivahotels.mx.
I just got my Colgate Advanced LED Whitening Treatment in the mail, and I am very excited to have dramatically whiter teeth in just 10 days. My teeth are going to be 6 shades whiter. The treatment is enamel safe and hassle-free. It's even designed for my sensitive teeth. Let's open it up. Inside we have the blue light whitening device. It's a charger for after each treatment as well. There's a full 10-day supply, and it looks easy to apply. Order yours today at shop.colgate.com.
Welcome back to Act Locally Live. I'm your host, Elizabeth Riley. Today's Tuesday, meaning it is Title Tuesday, where I'm bringing you all the best book, album, and movie titles that you may have missed and or that you've just been wanting to talk about. So, like I said before we hit our break, we're going to start with albums this week because that's where I got my start. So, all of this information can be found at Genius or Billboard, and we are covering all genres from your biggest names to the most underground gems. So first up, one probably causing the most commotion is Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend. This is her 7th studio album, and it was released on August 29th by Island Records. Carpenter produced this album with Jack Antonoff and John Ryan, who also produced tracks on her previous studio album, Short and Sweet, and listening to both of those albums back to back, very reminiscent of one another. They are very similar. If you like Short and Sweet, you're going to like Man's Best Friend. Sabrina warned that this album was not for the pearl clutchers, who may be offended by her more racy and raunchy image, which is, what all of the commentary was about when this album was first dropped. That album image got a lot of talk surrounding it. Primarily a pop album with elements of disco pop, funk, and R&B, and a little bit of synth rock. This album has charted in every country across the world, practically. She's amazing. She's doing great things, and touring with Taylor Swift just sent her skyrocketing. So, congrats, Sabrina. Up next, we have Hayley Williams of Paramore releasing her own solo album, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. This album is so good. She originally released 17 title songs onto her website and then all streaming platforms before releasing a full album. Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party is the 3rd studio album by singer-songwriter and member of band Paramore. She, like I said, uploaded these songs to her website July 28th, but the entire album, including the final 18th song, just released September 1st. So Williams has it's released August 28th. Officially released the entire album under an independent imprint titled Post Atlantic, which is kind of petty coming from Miss Hayley Williams because she left Atlantic Records 2 years ago. And now she's just like, this is my own title. This is my own imprint, my own publisher. Post Atlantic. I don't care about y'all. This album, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, is an alternative pop album which features elements of alt-rock, trip-hop, indie rock, folk, synth-pop, and shoegaze. And Williams performed several instruments for the recording of this album and co-wrote songs in collaboration with producer Daniel James. She's a phenomenal artist, a fantastic musician, and this album is definitely just proving that she is more than band of Paramore, but also just fine being in the band Paramore. Up next, we have the Beths. They released Straight Line. Wow. If I could talk, that would be really great. Straight Line was a line. My best friend Amelia from back home put me onto some of their stuff, especially like Future Me Hates Me. This is the 4th full-length studio album from the New Zealand indie rock band. The Beths were inspired by musicians like the Drive-By Truckers, the Go-Go's, and Olivia Rodrigo. And so this 4th album, their writing process looked a whole lot different than it had for the other 3 albums that they had put out beforehand. So the lead singer and guitarist Liz Stokes was dealing with a diagnosis of Graves' disease, which is a chronic autoimmune disorder, and she started taking sertraline to manage her mental health, and she had found that the medication had induced a change in her brain chemistry, as its job is to do, and it had affected her ability to write songs from the immediate emotional place that she had before. She couldn't enter that mindset trying to, consider and balance her mental and physical health. So trying to get through her writer's block, which we were talking a little bit about, reading block, writer's block, they go hand in hand. She used a technique which was influenced by Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way and Stephen King's On Writing. And taking these two books and combining those practices, she sat down and wrote 2,000 words on a typewriter every single day. Every day. And then she and the guitarist, Jonathan Pierce, came together. They spent a couple months in LA and they dug through all of the manuscripts of these 2,000 word papers every single day. And they picked them apart and then turned all those into songs. And that is how this fourth album came together. Oh my goodness. That sounds so insane and intense, but probably one of the coolest experiences ever. I would love to be able to do something like that. Like imagine collecting all of your life archives and then being able to write songs about it, because that's your life. What? That's your writing. Oh my goodness. We have a few more albums to go over. Riley Green dropped a deluxe version of Don't Mind If I Do. This album was originally dropped in October of last year, but the deluxe drop comes with 6 additional songs. It's adding even more depth to the project, and it is just showcasing his signature blend of heartfelt storytelling and Southern authenticity. So, to celebrate these 6 new songs, Riley Green is actually making an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon to perform Make It Rain this Thursday, September 4th. So keep an eye out for that and get to hear the songs. Finally, the Hives have released Hives Forever, Forever the Hives. This is the 7th studio album by this Swedish garage rock band, and it was released on August 29th through Play It Again Sam Records. The Hives Forever, Forever the Hives has been described as an album for the fans, whether they've been around for 25 years or are yet to be recruited. And I'm not going to lie, as I was sitting there listening to this album, I may have been feeling the recruits, okay? It was good. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it some time. We've got some pretty cool record shops here in Waco, such as Spin Connections and Vintage Mio. If you are interested in music, if you love anything in all music culture, go check them out. They are so cool. Family owned, operated, locally owned, locally operated. But up next, we have our movies. How exciting. First up, we have Caught Stealing, starring Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, and Bad Bunny. This burned-out ex-baseball player unexpectedly finds himself in a dangerous struggle for survival amidst the criminal underbelly of the 1990s New York City, as he's forced to navigate a treacherous underworld he never imagined. What started out as a pet-sitting gig for a few days then turns into a huge motley crew of threatening gangsters, and they all want a piece of Austin Butler, and I don't blame them for that. So he's got to hustle to stay alive long enough to find out what his sketchy friend has gotten him into. Like, dude, I just wanted to watch your cat for a few days. What is this? That sounds really good, and I'm into it. I want to watch it. Up next, I don't want to watch this one. Don't even put it on my TV screen. The Toxic Avenger, starring Peter Dinklage, Elijah Wood, and Kevin Bacon. This plot sounds like a nightmare more than anything. When a downtrodden janitor, Winston Goose, is exposed to a catastrophic toxic accident, he's transformed into a new kind of hero, the Toxic Avenger. Now, Toxie must rise from outcast to savior, taking on ruthless corporate overlords and corrupt forces who threaten his son, his friends, and his community. In a world where greed runs rampant, apparently justice is best served radioactive. What are we doing here? Next! Oh, thank goodness. We have something of sustenance. The Roses, starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, is a reimagining of the 1989 classic film The War of the Roses, which was based on the novel by Warren Adler. So, these people are in what seems to be a lovely relationship. Looking on the outside, Ivy and Theo are picture perfect. They've got successful careers, a loving marriage, great kids. But underneath the facade, they're there's a storm brewing. So what happens when Theo's career nosedives and Ivy's own ambitions take off? There is just a tinderbox of fierce competition and hidden resentment between these two. How do they reconcile? Oh, I want to watch it. I want to watch it so bad. Finally, the last movie that I have to share with you today is Run, all caps. It is not the 2020 movie with, not, okay? In Run, Melissa leaves her fiancé Andre at the altar and sets off on a much-needed girls' trip to regroup. But the fun getaway quickly turns into a terrifying fight for survival when an alien invasion traps them deep in the wilderness. This movie did not have any actors or actresses that I was even slightly familiar with, so I'm interested in seeing how the acting goes hand in hand with the plot. However, one reviewer commented, "Wow, what a waste of money. Nothing like the preview." So, I'm a little scared. Up next, we are going to be covering all of the best books that I have for you that have just been recently released, and I'm really excited to share those. So, stick around, come back, and I will see you after this quick break.
Welcome, guys. You're at the 10th Mountain Whiskey and Spirit Company tasting room here. So we're located in basically central Colorado in the Rocky Mountains. Our two flagship whiskeys are our rye whiskey and our bourbon. Our rye whiskey is our most awarded spirit. Our bourbon's our best seller. We're very proud of it. We think you're going to love it too. If you don't like it, send it back to us. We'll drink it for you.
10th Mountain Whiskey and Spirit Company, Colorado.
The dress collar polo. The only polo with a spread collar. Gives you the look of a dress shirt, but with the comfort of a polo shirt. Lightweight and breathable. Perfect for the office. Right with a suit. 4-way stretch comfort. Moisture wicking tech. Built-in collar stays. Short sleeve. Multiple collar options. Collars and Company.
What I love most about playing basketball is the competition. I really just like being shifty, mastering hesitation moves, changing direction, building chemistry with new teammates. If you're not having fun while you're playing, it's no point in playing the game. You know what to do. Escape Basic. Pair of Thieves quick dry underwear. It wicks away sweat and helps keep you dry. You looking forward to fishing season?
Let's unbox the all-new Walking Pad X21. It is the hottest thing on the fitness market right now. Whew. I like it. I like it a lot. Well done, Walking Pad. So after using the Walking Pad, I absolutely loved it. For the price, I adore it. I highly recommend it.
Good morning and welcome back to Act Locally Live. We have reached the final titles for Title Tuesday. We've worked through albums and movies, and now we are getting on to books before we head out for our great day today. First up, Catabasis by R.F. Kuang was just released August 26th. Dante's Inferno meets Susanna Clark's Piranesi in this all-new dark academia fantasy from Kuang, the new one. #1 New York Times bestselling author of Babel and Yellowface. In this book, two graduate students, Alice and Peter, must put aside their academic rivalry and journey to hell to save their professor's soul, who has died in a tragic accident. Will this descent cost their own souls? I'm so excited to read that. Oh my goodness, she never misses. Great high fantasy writer. It's amazing. Up next, we have The Island of Last Things by Emma Slowly. Released August 12th, Slowly tells the tale of the last zoo in the world on Alcatraz Island. There, Camille tends to her crew of misfits, the last surviving animals of their kind, who are safely quarantined from a world of chaotic upheaval. That is, until a new zookeeper, Sailor, arrives from Paris. The two zookeepers dream of better lives and consider smuggling animals off of the island to freedom. With a heart-stopping final twist, The Island of Last Things is an elegy for disappearing world and a gorgeous vision for the future. Sounds very interesting. Sounds very intriguing. It's kind of giving Lord of the Flies. You know, what does human nature do when it's isolated and alone and in its natural, most instinctual state? Whatever. Up next, Forget Me Not by Stacy Willingham. This best-selling author pens another Southern thriller. Oh, there's something just about Gothic. It's like Southern Gothic lit, Southern thrillers. Oh, they hit. Has to be just the spooky vibes of the South in general. After being suspended from her job, journalist Claire Campbell takes a posting at a vineyard in South Carolina. That sounds super fun. However, there, she finds evidence that may be related to the murder of her sister, which happened 22 years ago. So now she's trying to balance grief, this new job, moving, losing her job, and also investigating. She's an investigative journalist, naturally. She's going to go ask some questions. I'm excited to read that one. Finally, The Moonshine Women by Michelle Collins Anderson. Anderson returns with her second novel, and The Moonshine Women is set in the Ozarks during the Prohibition and Great Depression eras. It is about 3 sisters who take over the family moonshine business and keep their family together through reinvention, sisterhood, and the alchemy of love. Well, moonshine's still illegal in a lot of places, so I'd love to see how they handle that. Are they, mastermind criminals? All 3 sisters? What is this family doing? Where are they located? I have so many questions, and I guess the only way that I'm going to answer those is by reading the damn book. Well, if you haven't had enough of me today, you have so many different options to watch all of our shows on YouTube, which you should subscribe to, by the way, so that you don't miss another live show. You can also find us on Instagram at ActLocallyWaco or on our website at actlocallywaco.org, where you can read tons of blogs that are probably a little bit more coherent and concise than this early morning rambling, but you go read them and you let me know what you like better. I'll see you all next time for tomorrow's show. Bye, y'all.